So let's go into how does one actually get clarity without pretending that one already has it?
In my experience, I found that I've seen it even in small people like plumbers. And I've seen people who are more aware in life, and then people who are too preoccupied in thought. Now, a person who's very preoccupied in thought, in him, the light of awareness is not flaming. Because the veil of too much of mental activity is hiding all of that. So it doesn't radiate out. But I've seen it in even the so-called small people of life, that this awareness is sometimes very bright and shining. And clarity will be there the moment you're silent in thought, the moment the mind becomes quiet, then immediately you'll be able to see clearly what is going on in any given situation, in any given context. You'll be able to see that. But if the mind is active, even active to the extent that it wants to understand what is actually going on, that very desire to understand is an obstacle to gain that clarity. Because to get that clarity, you've got to be still. You've got to be very quiet. And it's a whole most important thing to learn in life is how to utilize the mind for thinking when there is a necessity for that, and how to rest the consciousness or thought when thought is not called for. It has to be quiet. It has to be rested. It's like having a horse. You have a horse, and there's a time to make it gallop, and there's a time for it to pull a carriage and do some work, and there's a time for it to go to the stable and eat some hay or something and take rest. So just like that, one has to understand thought and mental activity. And the moment the mental activity calms down and is very quiet, then immediately you have clarity, because the mind is silent. That clarity will beam out only when the consciousness is silent and it is very calm. And one has to learn all of that.
And Amanaska Yoga helps to learn
That is central. That's central. It's actually central to the lifetime teachings of the world teacher, from whom I learned all of this. And I would say that this is almost the most important thing that any human being has to learn. When to rest the consciousness and rest thought, and when to use thought skillfully. These are two things. We need both. Obviously, you'll agree with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thought must be active in certain things, and thought must be silent in certain things. And so that clarity comes when thought is silent.
Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, thank you for posing the question.